Well, hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Off and On and Off and On Again variety show. Tea Time, Mary Ellen. Happy St. Patrick's Day,
Yes, this is in honor of the movie and St. Patrick's Day.
which we
I
just
say top of the morning to you, but it's not the morning.
which we just discussed was totally an accident. We didn't even think about the fact that this movie would be reviewed on St. Patrick's Day. So, how's that? All right, I want to say hello to Rachel and Lisa. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Rachel,
Rachel
Lisa.
and Lisa. Rachel, absolutely no problem that you didn't watch this film. I wanted to say more in the chat, but then I thought, no, I don't want to spoiler alert it quite yet. We'll spoiler alert it later. So nice to have you here. Had a conflict come up today, which then got off my schedule. So that's why, if you saw a note, I said that we were going to wait till next week, but then we're back on for tonight. And hello, Nick. Nice to
Hi,
have you
Nick.
here.
Lisa,
And
tell me to just ignore the big faces on the screen on the TV.
oh my gosh,
We're
I
sorry.
yeah,
We apologize in advance.
excuse me. Yes, for sure. I can't imagine being on somebody's big screen. That's just freaky. So hello, Nick. Hello, Amy. Nice to have Amy here.
Hi.
And Amy is listening in her car. Understood? Well, nice to have you here. All right. Well, what do you say, Mary Ellen? Shall we go?
Let's do it.
All right. Now this week I kept a small bit of what we normally do, and then we're mainly going to focus on the big final who's the funniest person in the world. And we're going to go through and I'm going to show, well, I'll show you later, but we're going to have a chance to talk about the other comedians or funny people that were in this challenge. So that'll be fun. All right. So I thought, well, it's about comedy. So my first question is, what's funnier than real life? Mary Ellen?
What's funnier than real life? Huh.
That's a
You always
tricky
have such
question.
profound questions.
I know. And in my head, it's a simple answer. There's nothing funnier than real life, isn't there?
Truth. You know what's funny? Well, no, you're right. Nothing's funnier than real life. Um, Especially when somebody's doing something and they're not doing it on purpose. Like it's just natural and it's just so funny. Bill Murray is funnier.
uh, very true, Lisa. And Rachel, nothing. I believe God has a sense of humor, and it shows. Yes, it shows in you and I.
Yes.
Um, I I think back about the times that I've laughed the hardest, and they're never watching a movie or a TV show or anything like that. They are with family and friends. And in fact, my youngest son, he can be so hilarious. Not too many people get to see that side of him, but if we're playing games on a Friday night or something, he is hilarious. Uh, Nick agrees with Rachel, and so does Lisa.
Hey, Nick, did you watch the movie by chance?
Rachel did not, but we decided to let her. We aren't flunking her because of that,
No,
which she was very worried about, by the way.
no, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Well, this is one. Well, I keep wanting to say something, but I'll wait until we review it. And Nick did not either. It was a
Okay,
busy week for me. Totally understood. Totally
okay.
understood. All right. Well, I think we've covered this question. Let's go to the next thing, which is the funniest character in a Disney movie.
I'm going to say Robin Williams as the genie.
You took it right out of my head. Yep. And part of the reason I think is because we know he improv'd it like crazy. And that's the best parts.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to pick the same thing.
How funny.
Nick is going to pick the same thing as well. The
Mhm.
genie. Absolutely. What are some other funny characters though? In a Disney movie?
In a Disney movie.
Boy, that's like the first one that comes to mind.
Right. Um,
You know what was funny was in Finding Nemo, I thought the characters in the fish tank were funny.
look at Lisa's answer.
All right. Totally agree, Mary Ellen. Was going to say Donkey and Shrek, but wrong company. Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, yes, Timon and Pumbaa.
That came into my head too after I said that.
And by the way, Lion King 1.5, I think is a fantastic movie. I mean, it's not as good as number one, but honestly, it was hilarious. Goofy and Roger Rabbit. Well, why didn't we think of them? Oh my gosh, and your son, Mike Wazowski, of course.
Hey, Nick.
Oh my gosh, how could I not think of some of those? Mushu, yeah, Mushu is good
Mushu
too.
is good. You're right. Mushu is good.
And oops, moved. Lisa agreeing with Nick on the Goofy and Roger Rabbit. Absolutely. Well, those are some good answers. All right, next. All right, they're not here. So you'll see what I got a little idea going here, Mary Ellen, and I don't know if I told you about this, but I said I was going to keep asking questions until they get answered, but you'll see what I'm going to do in a second here.
Okay.
So I don't see Walt or Melissa in the chat, but here was my true or false question. Did they once at one time live in Rhode Island? And oh my
I'm
gosh,
going to say yes.
Mater.
Oh, yes.
Mater is hilarious. In fact, he was one of the actor was one of our finalists, right? In the top 40.
That's right.
All right, so you say yes, Lisa says no, Nick is saying no or false. And again, I don't know the answer. I'm
I
basing it
don't
off.
either. I did see them on a stream the other night, and they were talking about different places they lived.
Yep.
And I really don't know. I'm just saying yes. I don't know.
Well, that's good. We got it. We got a yes. We got a couple no's. Rachel's also going to say no, and I'm going to go with you, Mary Ellen. I'm going to say yes, only because I heard the same thing. Is that they've lived up in the upper eastern part of the United States, and they've lived in a few different spots. That was my recollection.
Right.
So, is the chat right, or are we right?
Did they
Well,
have to live there as a couple, or could they have lived there separately at one point?
as a couple.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, so again, I said I'm not going to let go of these questions until they get answered. They're going to get built up in this list here. So
I like it.
again, we don't have Tiki Man fan here. Tim, has he stayed at the Poly 4 and 5 times? We don't know.
I've seen Tim in a couple of other chats, but I never did say, "Hey, you've got a question waiting for you in our show when you get a minute."
I mean, I'd be honored if I heard, "Hey, they've been waiting for you," you know.
Yeah.
And ask a question. So next week, this list will have Walt and Melissa's question on too.
Okay.
All right. What country is known as the hexagon? Germany, France, or Spain? What do you think, Mary Ellen?
Whew. Spain.
Spain. All right. I'll give the chat some time. This is from that list. And I didn't know this one either. So we got one vote for Spain. Nick says Germany. Rachel's saying France.
We've all got a country.
We've got all three covered. Germany, Spain, or France? Lisa? Oh, Amy. Amy's coming in with Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa's coming in with Germany. Oh, well, we're pretty overwhelmingly Germany.
What is Keith coming in, Lisa? Because Keith is always getting these right.
Yeah, Keith seems to know this stuff. Keith says France. Okay.
Okay.
Well, and guess what? He's right.
Oh my
God. France extends from the Mediterranean to the English Channel and the North Sea. From its shape, it's often referred to in French as Le Hexagon.
Okay.
Yeah. Woohoo, says Lisa.
Way to go, Keith.
Yep. Keith.
Who else chose? And Rachel.
Keith and Rachel.
Rachel.
Yep. Keith and Rachel, way to go. All right, cool. This is going kind of fast, actually. All right. Next question. Oh, not next question. It's time for our movie review. I got to get some music for that.
Already?
All right, Mary Ellen.
All right.
The Quiet Man.
So I thought that I thought it was, kind of antiquated. I do know there are aspects of it that still are something that the Irish do today. And when I was talking to my boyfriend in Ireland, he said that they, in fact, did have people who would accompany you while you were dating. And I said, okay, so who pays for that person? And he said the parents usually. So that was a thing up until not really, maybe the 50s or 60s or something. So I think some of the things that he did to her would not fly today.
Oh no.
It was a cute movie. Parts of it I was like, huh. And then so what did I give it? Did I give it a 6?
Yes, I believe that is it.
Yes, I gave it a 6. I did love the acting in it. Maureen O'Hara and John Wayne and the little guy, the little butler guy that was their escort. And my boyfriend was saying that John Wayne's kids were in that movie. They were the 3 kids that were in the movie. Those were his kids. And then the guy who directed or produced the film, his brother was the guy lying in bed on his deathbed. And when he heard the fighting going on, jumped up out of bed and ran out. So there's a lot of different people in the movie that were related to the actors. And so that was cool to know.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't quite understand the customs or traditions of the time period, but it turned out good in the end.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6 and I watched the whole movie.
Okay.
It was 1947, Lisa, or 46.
It was 40? Oh, it was that old. Okay.
Yeah, it was old.
Kind of looked that old. And yes, like a chaperone, I think.
Yes, the chaperone. And that was just for the dating process. So,
yeah. Well, I am going to say that embarrassingly, I had seen it before and I'd forgotten. There was a time a couple 3 years ago where my son and I got into watching John Wayne movies, and I had forgotten this one because it's kind of out of the ordinary for him. It wasn't a Western. It was a traditionalist kind of whatever. I didn't watch it the whole time this time because I had already seen it. But I remembered enough before, and so I liked John Wayne doing something a little bit different. That was kind of cool, at least in the beginning. And what was I gonna say? I guess there were parts of it I liked and parts of it that I didn't, which is I think what you were saying. Now, did you recognize the main woman? What famous movie that everyone here has seen? I'm sure was she from?
Yeah, she was in Gone with the Wind, right?
Oh, I didn't think so.
Maureen O'Hara? No?
Is that? I thought she was in Parent Trap.
Movie Mania Nick, you're going to have to tell us. I don't know.
At least she looked like the wife from Parent Trap. Does that sound right?
Are you talking about Maureen O'Hara?
I thought so.
I don't know. I don't
Right.
know. I'm really not as good at the movie thing as Nick is.
I know.
Or
Well, none of
you.
us
You're
are.
really good at movies.
Not as good as Nick. Let me just see. Yeah, she was in Parent Trap.
Okay.
Yep. And anyway, so yeah, I gave the movie a 5. I like John Wayne. It was just okay, kind of a nice movie. And I think you said the statement that captured it the best for me, which is there was some traditional kind of things that I just had a hard time grasping, I guess.
I get it. That was a long time ago. So they're very conservative. I don't think they are anymore, but they were back then. And
I thought when I was watching it the second time, I thought some people sat down and said, "Okay, we want to make a movie about Ireland, and we want John Wayne in it. How are we going to make that happen?"
once I found out he had killed a man, I that was kind of strange. Why would you include that in the movie? Like,
yeah, that was kind of odd. And I know what you're saying about some of the things that they would do back then that would not fly anymore.
no.
Getting a little rough. All right, now forgive me if you've seen or heard of this movie. I was really struggling to find one that I thought we could watch. And this one is rated PG, although it kind of had that look to me like, oh, do I really want to watch this movie? So have you ever seen Real Genius before?
I haven't.
Okay. Nick was saying in terms of sounds like not a great film. I think he's referring to the Quiet Man.
No.
No. All right. I think Lisa's saying she's seen Real Genius. Okay. And Keith is definitely saying they have. All right. Well, I mean, unless there's any.
What year was it made?
I mean, Val Kilmer, he looks fairly young. Like, probably this is before Top Gun. So, what would that put it in the late 80s or?
The 80s, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, it does not.
I'm not shocked that you've seen it before, Nick.
He has seen it. Yeah, we're not surprised. He is. Well, early 80s, says Nick. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely before Top Gun then, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure. Okay. All right. Well, that's the movie.
85.
85 says Keith. All right. Cool. 7:20. Man, we might get done early tonight, Mary Ellen.
Well,
all right.
We'll have to have a big discussion about our 2 finalists.
Yeah, and there's a couple things I want to tell everybody about that when I get there, so I don't want to forget. All right. This round of what year? What year was Groucho Marx born?
Okay. 18, because, well, how long did Groucho live? Okay. Oh, 1901?
Okay. So you're coming in kind of close to when Walt was born. 1892. No, there's no multiple choice. In this challenge, we just try to come up with the year.
I can't even phone a friend, Lisa.
Nick is going 1890. Amy's going 1910. 1892 from Keith, and you said 1901, right?
Yeah, I was going to say 18 something, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, Rachel's saying 1899, and Lisa's saying something.
It's a thing through the phone.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
No,
you're right.
I know what you're saying. Well, here we go, and the answer is, oh, Nick got it again. It's 1890.
Nick.
That's amazing. He was a master of quick wit and is considered one of America's greatest comedians. Now, I would say I agree with that, that if you go back to a lot of the comedians throughout the decades, they might have been funny in their time, but they aren't as funny anymore. But Groucho Marx was truly funny. Very improv. He did the talk show or whatever. He obviously with the Marx Brothers, he was hilarious.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, congratulations, Nick.
No cheating?
Yeah. And Keith was very close at 1892. And Nick is agreeing he was hysterical. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
When
truly
did he
was.
die? What year did he die? Did it say?
Oh, I didn't put that in here. He lived quite a while, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
60s, 70s?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
All right. So after 7 weeks of bracket challenges to get us down to the funny two people, you all know that tonight in he died in 77.
1977.
Okay.
Wow. That's a long time.
87 years old. Nice. So we've narrowed it down from 40 of the funniest people in the world to 2. You all know who they are, Bill Murray and Tim Allen, and we're going to vote on them. But before we do, and I hope you all don't mind, is that we're going to go through the challenge as it happened. And what I've done here is I've highlighted in green the one who won that challenge. So what you can do if you want, Mary Ellen, chat, Dean, is comment on the person who got dropped at that point. So in the first one, Kelsey Grammer, the question would be, what did you like them the best in, or if you have any other thought about them? So that's what I thought we'd do. It won't take long, but we're going to go through them all and only comment on the one that isn't highlighted in green.
Lisa's adamant that there can only be one.
There can only be one, and there only will be one. They're both here in the waiting room, right? Okay. I'm going to answer that question.
You ruined it, Rachel.
They are not. So I looked it up, and okay, this is interesting. Yeah, we could get Tim Allen $200,000. Or Bill Murray, if you didn't know this, he has a 1-800 number. And I swear to you, when I looked it up, I saw the number and now I can't find it. But he has his own 1-800 number and anyone can call it and leave a message. And he kind of decides who he thinks is legit and not. And I thought if he won tonight, I would probably try to call him and let him know. I cannot find that 800 number. So if anyone can find it, fantastic. All right. Keith is pointing out Cheers. Agreed 100%.
I liked him in Frasier.
Okay. And I never watched Frasier. Frasier was funny. Nick agreeing with you. Boo, says Rachel. Sorry.
I know it's a letdown, right, Rachel?
Yeah. Kelsey in Cheers. Is that what his name? No. Who's Kelsey?
Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, Kelsey and Cheers, right? Oh boy, must be one of those days. Who are you talking about? Yes, Bill Murray likes to handle his own affairs. Yeah, I heard that. Like, I don't even know if he has a real agent. All right. So agreed. And by the way, if you haven't seen the Jesus Revolution, Kelsey Grammer is fantastic in it. He is so good. I'm not kidding. He was really great. Okay. Bill Engvall.
I've only seen him in Was he in? Oh yeah, he was in that one show. I
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know that I saw him much.
yeah. Me neither.
He had a
I
show, though, right?
I've
The
heard
Bill
him do
Engvall show.
okay. I've I've heard him do stand up.
Right.
Uh Rachel's agreeing with me. Jesus Revolution was exceptional. It really was. I mean, a notch above. It really was. Bill Engvall, to me, I get it. People like him. I didn't find him that funny.
Right. Maybe that's why I never watched him.
Yeah. He got a very simple sense of humor. All right. All right. Nate Bargatze.
Okay, he's the one that I'd never seen before.
Most people hadn't. So we won't stay there very long. I'm just going to say if you probably will eventually see him. Clean humor, very funny, takes situations of his life, like things that happen with him and his wife, and he is very funny.
Okay.
Oh, comedy tour with Larry the Cable Guy. I'm assuming that's Bill Engvall.
Oh, okay.
Lisa doesn't know of Nate. I feel like you're going to see him eventually. Nate who? Says Nick. Yeah. Not surprised that he fell out. Never heard of him, says Keith. All right, we'll go to the next one. Nick Offerman.
Oh, he's the one in Parks and Recreation, right?
Yep,
Okay. Yeah. He's funny in that.
he is funny. When somebody suggested Nick, I didn't know who he was. I had never watched Parks and Rec. I now have watched a couple episodes of Parks and Rec. It reminds me of The Office. It's
Yes.
very similar. Nick is very funny, and in fact, once I heard his voice, I said, "Oh, he's the one of the brothers in the movie The Founder, which is about McDonald's, the McDonald's story
Oh, okay.
with Michael Keaton." And Nick Offerman, he was really good in The Founder. So uh he is funny with his serious sense of humor. Yeah, exactly right. Nick Offerman, and then I hear crickets. Maybe not the same feeling for Lisa.
Yeah. I didn't watch Parks and Rec that much.
I didn't find myself laughing like I do with The Office, but I appreciated that they were trying. It had has a lot of big people in it. It had Chris Pratt in
Uh-huh.
it,
Uh-huh.
and can't remember all who. All right, next, Ed Helms and
I
Paul
thought
Rudd.
he was
So
great in The Office. I mean, that's about all I really saw
yeah,
him in. He added a little, you know, different perspective to The Office. It was funny.
probably my second favorite character in The Office. Um, he's great. Don't know, says Keith. Probably you don't watch The Office.
Because honestly, that's the only thing I've really seen him in.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been in a number of movies. They're not ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
Ed Helms was funny in the Hangover films. Yeah, exactly. And I've never seen those.
Me either.
It took a while for me to get into Parks and Rec, but I love it now. Oh, good. Because I've got all kinds of seasons to watch of it if I get into it. Okay. Ray Romano kind of dropped off early.
Yeah. I loved Everybody Loves Raymond. I mean, he just has a dry sense of humor that just it goes a long way with me.
Have you ever seen him do stand up?
No, I mean, no, not per se. No. Is it good?
It can be. It's kind of like seeing a version of Everybody Loves Raymond on stage.
Okay.
Yeah. My sister was in an elevator once with him by chance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he was nice, apparently. All
That's
right.
good.
Nick's saying he agrees with you. And look who we have here. We have Dean the
Hey,
Turkey
Dean,
Legster. I just saw a picture of Dean at Disney, and guess what he was eating?
a turkey leg.
Who told? Indeed. All right, Ray Romano, hilarious. Now, when I see everybody saying hi to Dean, I'm getting confused. Okay. All right. Now, this was one that I didn't know before. Fluffy. Did you?
But no, but somebody in chat suggested them, Lisa, or I can't remember. Somebody brought him up that he's really good.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't remember who. I think it
he has
was.
another name, right? Who?
Yeah, right. Fluffy is his kind of his nickname.
Yeah. When we
Dean says
first
that.
started this, somebody in chat suggested him.
I want to say it was Kate.
May have
The
been Janie B, or I don't know.
oh, okay, yeah. Nick has seen his comedy acts before. Okay. Well, I did watch him. VW Van Collector. Okay. I heard of Fluffy, but never saw his stand up. Well, I watched some of it, and it didn't do much for me, to be honest. But he seems like a nice guy, and I'm sure he seemed very popular too. Dean has seen some of his videos.
Did you like him, Dean? Did you like the videos?
And you can answer that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move on so we can get through these. Jimmy Fallon, what do you think?
Uh, early in his career, I thought he was funny and fresh.
Yeah.
Now it's just repetitive.
Yeah. I think the one thing I like about him is that he seems to have a nice dynamic between the people he interviews. Like they seem like friends usually. But as far as being a funny person, I'm about the same. I don't think he's that funny.
No.
Tanked did a tan for him in a VW van. Oh, is that like a practical joke? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
And Dean the turkey legster said he's kind of funny.
He's kind of funny. Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be funny, I guess you should be kind of funny.
Yeah. His name was Gabriel Iglesias.
That's
Okay.
it. I knew he had a real name.
Okay. All right. And now, Kevin Hart. What do you think of Kevin?
I don't think I've hardly seen him in anything.
Oh,
Oh,
Tank.
tank as in fish tank.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
you have to spell it out for us,
Yeah.
Keith. We're kind of slow.
I'm going to agree on Kevin Hart. I've listened to him. I've seen him in some things where he was funny, like some of these, like he'll be in a car with other comedians and he seems kind of funny, but as a stand-up comedian, um, I didn't think he was that funny. Funny but loud for a short comedian. Yeah, he is very loud. I did notice that. He accentuates everything.
Okay.
All right. Ben Stiller falling off to Kevin James.
I loved Ben and all of the, you know, Night at the Museum movies. I don't know. I think he can be funny.
Yeah. I think so. I think he's involved in all kinds of aspects of movies and stuff. I think he's a very busy person. But yeah, I wouldn't
I thought
say
his
just
dad was funnier.
yeah, especially yeah, that's kind of interesting. I never thought of that. His dad was in his show, Kevin James show.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
and
Ironic.
yeah, and I would almost say his dad, in some ways, was funnier than Kevin James on that show at times.
Yeah, he stole the show a lot of the time.
He really did. See, I like Ben Stiller. I was kind of surprised at this. Yeah, I was kind of surprised too. Dodgeball, which I never did see that one.
There you go, Keith.
Haven't seen him on screen in a bit. Well, one of my favorite movies is Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I love that film. His dad was on Seinfeld. Yep, that's right.
Yes. And King of Queens.
And back in the old days when we were young, Mary Ellen, him and his wife did a stand-up together, and if I'm not mistaken, they were probably on things like the Ed Sullivan Show. Does that sound about right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And on, Johnny Carson and,
Yep.
she was on King Queens also. And then
Oh, she was?
became his on-screen wife. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Near the end of the series.
She was also on Night at the Museum.
Yes.
Yeah. He said he was interviewing with her, and he said he felt some kind of connection with her, and she said she didn't feel it. All right, next one. Kristen Wiig.
I've only seen her. Well, I saw her on Bridesmaids, but mostly on Saturday Night Live. And, she's okay.
She's okay. She's better as an actress, in my opinion, than she is a comedian. So I loved her in Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and she's been in a few like that. No clue who she is. So yeah, Saturday Night Live, Secret Life of Walter Mitty. What'd you say?
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. Okay, that's a movie.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Brian Regan.
I'm sorry. I don't know who he is either.
Hilarious, great stand-up comedian. And I always have to point out that when he came to town, some of the seats were $500 to go see him.
Wow.
Crazy. Martin Short.
I left him in SNL too. I mean, I thought some of the best characters they've ever done had Martin Short in it.
Was he SNL?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So he was Second City TV as well, and he was in the Three Amigos.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was every bit as funny as Steve Martin in that movie.
But you don't see him much anymore either.
No, they've relegated themselves to.
Is he a B-lister now?
Well, I've noticed that he and Steve Martin are willing to go on. I won't call them second rate, but near second rate video or YouTubers and stuff like that. I have seen them do some of that. So.
Too bad he didn't win. We probably could have gotten him on the show.
Lisa, you never watched SNL? Nick, not the newer SNLs, right? I hadn't seen Martin Short on there either. He was in the Santa Claus 3.
That was back. Oh, yeah, he was in Santa Claus 3, yeah.
What did I miss, Mary Ellen?
Martin Short was in the old SNLs, or the medium, the Middle Ages, the middle parts.
I saw him and Steve Martin in a comedy show together. Yeah, he is very funny. Oh, he has one. Hey, Paul Engel, nice to have you here.
Hi, Paul.
Okay, who knows? Martin Short did this. What was it? It is very funny, and he does these interviews where he dresses up as a very large person. I want to say it's like Nick. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name now, but look it up on YouTube. They actually are kind of funny. Oh, they're on tour together. Man, those guys, they're crazy. All right.
Well, that's good that they still are At it.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Chris Rock with the imprint of Will Smith's hand on his cheek.
I never was really a Chris Rock fan.
Did you like him in Madagascar as the zebra?
Yes.
Yeah.
When he's a zebra, I really like him.
Nick pointing out that Martin Short.
Thank you, Nick. Martin Short played Ed Grimley on Saturday Night Live, and that was one of the best characters they've done.
Okay. Man, I got to catch up on that. Ed Grimley. That sounds familiar. All right. Chris Rock, we're kind of moving on from him. Oh, Dean and Paul Rudd have the same birthday. Sweet.
Oh, cool.
All right. David Spade.
Well, wasn't he on SNL too?
Yep.
So, in their younger years, I think those were their glory days. I mean, I like the man. And he's the voice of isn't he a voice in Shrek somewhere?
Boy, you got me. I'm
am I thinking
sure.
Shrek, or am I thinking another movie? What voice is David Spade in, guys?
Yeah.
David is kind of funny.
Nick can probably tell us.
But he's funnier as whatever animal he was.
Yeah. I didn't think he was that funny until I saw him in sort of an improv kind of situation, and then I got a little bit more respect for him. He is pretty confident and pretty funny, just winging it. But yeah, I was never a big David Spade. Ryan Reynolds.
I think he's a better actor than comedian. I mean, he's got another dry sense of humor, but it's an Emperor's New Groove. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
David Spade was in Emperor's New Groove.
Okay. I think you're bringing up a good point. In fact, guess what? I watched a movie. I skimmed through a movie last night about outer space. Oh, I think it was called Life. And it had Ryan Reynolds in it. And it had Jake Gyllenhaal and a few names. And I didn't think it was that great. Nick thinks Ryan is funny.
Okay, good. What's he in that's funny, Nick?
He's in
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. Yep. Is that a funny movie?
I don't know.
I've never watched Deadpool. I've heard of it. Okay. Well, keep the comments coming. I'm going to keep moving on. Ellen DeGeneres. Give us the truth.
When she was fresh and new and out of the political arena and pushing agendas, I thought she was funny.
Yep. I thought she was
when they blurred the spectrum and quit doing what they're there to do, and that's comedy, and then just give all their opinions whether we want to hear them or not.
Yeah, in the end, unfortunately, a lot of people come to that, and she was definitely one of them. But in the beginning, as you said, she was very funny as a stand-up comedian. I thought she was probably the funniest female comedian I'd ever seen. But I didn't watch her show. I couldn't stand her show. All right. Jack Black.
I've seen him in a few things. It was kind of funny. Mm-hmm. He doesn't stand out to me as funny.
Kung Fu Panda. And what else? Well, School of Rock. He was in that King Kong movie. Oh, the funny movie he was in was the Mexican movie.
Nick said no comment.
That's on Ellen, I believe.
Oh, I thought he said it about this one too. Okay. Shallow Hal. Okay.
Shallow Hal, yep. Well, he's made a lot of good movies. I can't remember the name of the one. Jack Black is funny in my opinion, plus he is in his band Tenacious D, right? That's the one I was thinking of, Paul. Nacho Libre.
Okay.
It is funny. All right. Next. Jeff Dunham. Boy, I got to get clicking through these. We got to go through
He's
this a little.
funny. I mean, his puppets are funny, which makes him funny because he's the puppets. But
Yeah.
You have to be pretty creative when you're trying to make a puppet funny.
Yeah.
So, kudos to him.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm sorry that I got behind, and I'm going to go through these very quick. So, Marilyn, just go ahead, make a comment, or if you don't want to, and then anyone can say whatever. I'll try to catch up, but we got to get to that finale. Tim
He said
Hawkins.
that he saw him live, Jeff Dunham live.
Oh,
And Movie Mania Nick said that he likes Jeff's shows.
okay. I've never seen him. And Lisa's saying, love Jeff Dunham. He does his own writing, no editing. Cool.
I don't know Tim Hawkins.
I know Rachel and I both love Tim Hawkins. Probably the best show I've ever been to in person. Sometimes when I go back and watch his stuff on YouTube, I get kind of sick of it because I've seen it so many times. Tina Fey.
She's okay.
She's okay. She's a good actor. Tom Hanks never made it past
I'm kind of surprised at that one, but he's, like we said, I think why he didn't pass is he's a better actor than he is a comedian.
Yeah.
Early on, he was a good comedian, but then he became a serious actor.
Yep. Nick pointing out Tina is a good writer. He's pretty fun. Maybe that's referring to
Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham, or it had to be, or Tim Hawkins.
Oh, okay.
Probably Tim Hawkins. Okay. Did I miss one? So Tom Hanks, can't believe it, but he's known for acting and he's a very good actor. So Vince Vaughn, falling off to Jim Gaffigan.
I liked him in Claws, but I don't know many of his movies. Yeah. Yes, Nick, Tom Hanks is a great actor. I'm just not sure. He doesn't do much comedy anymore.
Right. Rachel was confirming it was Tim that she was talking about.
Okay.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just moving on. Adam Sandler falling off to Steve.
Yeah, which again, he's funny. I like him for certain things. SNL, he had some great skits.
I think he brought a uniqueness to his humor was very unique, and he wasn't afraid to be who he was, and I like that about him.
Yeah. Amy said interns.
Interns. That must be Vince Vaughn, maybe, or.
And Nick said Vince is either on or off with his comedy. So.
Right. Yep. Kate is funny, says Nick. Okay.
Yeah.
She was in that Beatles movie yesterday, and she was kind of funny in there. I like him when he's not crude. That must be Vince. Yeah. Or is that Adam? That might be Adam. I'm not sure. All right. Well, I'm going to keep going because we got to get through this. Larry the Cable Guy.
I've never watched him for any period of time.
Great as Mater.
Adam.
Yep, Adam could get a little crude. All right. Paul Rudd falling off. You like Paul?
I like Paul.
I do too.
Don't see him much anymore, but
he's such a likable actor, and I love the first Ant-Man. That's probably one of my favorite movies of his. Yeah, Mater, agree, Amy. All right. Danny DeVito. Well, I think
him in Taxi and
loved him in Taxi. Well, I think what we've got to do is we're going to skip because we're going to run out of time here. So Steve Carell, Owen Wilson, Jim falling off, Kevin James, Carol Burnett. I thought she lasted a little bit longer than I was expecting.
Twins. Yes, Amy, you're right.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito is in Twins.
Tim Allen taking down Jerry Seinfeld. I found that interesting. And Jim Carrey taking down Will Ferrell. All right. And Bill Murray bringing down Steve Martin. Those are two biggies right there. And Tim Allen bringing down Jim Carrey, which brings us finally to the part which I definitely want us to have time to get everybody's votes in. Now let's look at the chat because I don't. Can anybody tell me how many votes came in the poll that I put out there? Because I can't see it.
Let me see if I can get on my phone. There are 13 votes.
All right. 69% for Bill Murray. 30.
That's me, River Brady.
That's more than twice as many. So that would be 9 and 4. No, or would it be 8 and 5? That's 8 and 5.
Yeah, 69% of the votes were with Bill.
Okay, I believe that turns out to be 8 votes for Bill. Now, in my way of thinking, I don't know who voted, so we're going to take everybody's votes that's in the chat. We're going to add it to this, even if you already voted. That's just the rules. So, so it's not over yet. So we've got 8 for Bill Murray, 5 for Tim Allen. I want everybody to put their vote in, and I'm going to put mine in as well. So we have 9 for Bill, 10 for Bill, 11 for Bill, 12 for Bill, 6 for Tim, 12 to 6.
I didn't sign into YouTube, so I can't chat. But I'm for Bill.
You're for Bill. So we're at 13 to 6. I think that the Bills have it. Congratulations to Bill Murray, funniest person in the world. And
can't wait to have him on the show.
I would definitely call his 800 number if we could find it. Let me try one more time.
I think you may have sent it to me, so I might be able to send it back to you.
Really?
I think you were telling me what you did, and you showed me a screenshot or something of his page.
Well, that'd be. Now I'm suddenly nervous. All right. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna try to get Bill on the horn here. Hope I don't wake him up.
Well, I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere.
I definitely saw it. Okay. All right. I just said 1-800 number. I swear it was in here. All right, I'm going to look.
Oh, wait. No, you just told me he had a 1-800 number.
Yeah, it was out there. I know I saw it.
They knew that you were going to call him, so they took it down.
Oh, man. Oh, wow, Lisa. How did we forget about Billy Crystal?
Oh.
Isn't that something? We had Fluffy and people in here that you hadn't heard of, and we didn't do Bill Crystal?
Oops.
Nick is saying Bill is not going to answer because he is at the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire premiere right now.
Oh, and you said Paul Rudd is also in that movie, right, Nick?
Oh, wow. I heard it's good, by the way. So I believe Rachel has found the number.
Oh.
Wow. Well, should I try?
Yeah. Let's
All right.
go for it. Let's go for broke.
Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Okay. Okay. Well, oh my word. Forgive me if I don't do a good job.
You'll do great.
All right. Truly, I'm nervous. 1298. All right. All right. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear this. I'll put it on speaker. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not.
I hope he's a nice man.
Yeah. Okay. Did you hear that?
Thank you for calling something.
Goodbye.
Oh, well, maybe
Doesn't
it's
he
not
know?
within the right hours.
Crabby answering machine. Doesn't he know he could be on the live place? Well, I tell you, I'm losing my mojo. Oh, well.
He may have certain hours that he'll accept calls.
Well, that's unfortunate, but let's go ahead and I'll show you. Since we're done voting, we give Tim Allen. Here's some nice pictures of him in second place. I remember this movie where he was in a biker thingy and the Santa Claus, and I don't know what's that one. And then, of course, our winner from one of his funniest movies, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that is funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day, you know how it's like he keeps going through the same day over and over again? I noticed that's the way I am with that movie. It's like I can keep watching it over and over again. It's something about it.
Oh, that's true, Lisa. She thinks that maybe it's the mailbox is full.
Oh man, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Oh well, we tried. Caddyshack. Maybe what is he's best known for? I'm not sure. You know
Yes.
whose favorite movie is Caddyshack? It won't surprise you.
Bob?
Tiger Woods.
Oh, that makes sense.
Loved him in Zombieland. I don't think I've seen it. Huh. Oh yeah, Ghostbusters. That's probably his biggest film right there. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
by far. Stripes
Stripes.
and Meatballs.
Stripes was awesome.
Seen both of them. Yeah, Stripes was hilarious. John Candy, I think, was in that. Oh
Yes.
yeah. What about Bob? Thank you, Amy.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Bill Murray. He used to play in the celebrity pro-am, whatever they call it, out at Pebble Beach every year, and I've said it many times. He's just so funny in a natural setting. Scrooged. Yep.
Yes.
My gosh. Forget all these movies he's made. He made one where he was with what's her name? Oh my gosh, Scarlett Johansson, and they were like over in Japan, and they were having the same problem because they were both off in their hours, so they would be up all night, and that was how they met. Did you ever see
Oh, how
that?
funny.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, he's even done some serious roles.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, well, guys, it's 8 o'clock. Uh, I had wanted to give everybody a chance, one last chance, just to throw something in the chat, which is if you think Bill Murray is the funniest person in the world, great. I mean, he's the guy we've decided. But if there is somebody that you really like, man, this is really my favorite person, I think is the funniest person of all time, throw that in the chat. I'm going to ask you that question, Mary Ellen. Is Bill Murray really it for you, or you have
Dead or alive?
alive?
I don't know if he's well, he's funny. I'm not sure if he's the funniest one in the world, but out of our group, he is. I can't think of anybody. I mean, nothing that is like, wow. I mean, I think forever Robin Williams will be my favorite.
Oh yeah, Robin Williams. That's a great choice.
Lisa wants to know what the next bracket's going to be.
Well, that's a good question. I'm open for suggestions.
Yeah, what bracket would you guys like to see?
I mean, I had an idea, but then the more I thought about it, the more I didn't think it would work out. Which was it was going to be about food somehow, but I couldn't make it work. Life Aquatic, says Keith. Bill Murray was in that. I never saw that one. I hope you have a chance to eat corned beef and cabbage this weekend. Yes.
Yes.
Does your guy friend eat a lot of that, Mary Ellen?
No.
No? Okay.
I think that's something America decided that we should associate with the Irish. Eat your corned beef.
Food is great, songs, movies, etc. Well, we could definitely do a movie challenge. We could do an acting challenge. We could do what do you think about actors and actresses?
And food.
And food. Okay.
You could narrow it down to like fast food, or narrow it down to sweets, or narrow it down to savory, or I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have the answer, but we'll come up with something.
Stay tuned.
Well, I got to thinking about the comedian thing today, and Bill Murray is darn up close to being at the top for me. I would put right alongside him probably Steve Martin. I'd have to say, in my formidable years of comedy, Steve Martin became the guy, and he was the guy for a while. And I got to see him in person at the Minnesota State Fair, and how many movies has that guy made? I mean, so many.
Right.
And
thank you, Amy. Thank you, Lisa, Rachel, Nick.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Everyone who came in. Paul.
Keith is on a roll of Murray movies. Oops. TV series, animated movies, snack foods, lots of possibilities. Okay, well, Mary Ellen and we are going to talk, and we're going to come up with something.
Yes.
Billy Crystal was great at hosting the Academy Awards. I would say he was so far the best, by far the best at hosting.
Agreed.
They were always good. So there were some real duds there, but Billy Crystal was great.
Agreed.
Did he ever get nervous behind a microphone? I never saw it.
He was a natural.
Cartoons too, says Lisa. That's a great idea.
Great idea. Yes.
Oh,
there's a lot of things to do with that.
Can we go as far back as what we watched?
Sure.
All right. I like that idea. That kind of landed on me. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Yeah, he was definitely the best. All right. I think this cartoon is a strong suggestion.
I like that.
I like that too. All right. Oh, Keith nailed it. Johnny Quest. Oh my gosh. What was his buddy's name? Not Toto. The Indian boy. The Indian boy.
Yeah.
Toto. Keto.
It was on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it.
We haven't seen any new ones. Oh yeah, right. I mean, obviously, like when I was a kid, the Flintstones, movies are cartoons like that.
Yeah, Jetsons. Yeah, there's a lot.
Gigantor. I think that was in Johnny Quest, wasn't it? I'm not sure. All right. It's looking like what we're going to do. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you hanging out with us. We will be ready for a brand new bracket challenge next week, probably cartoons, and
Speed
maybe we'll.
Racer.
What's it? Speed
Speed
Racer? Was that?
Racer.
What was that?
Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer.
I don't remember that one.
I'm not a good
Thank
singer,
you.
so I can keep going, but
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Nice to have you
Happy
here. We'll
St.
see you next
Patrick's
week.
Day
Yeah.
this
See ya.
weekend.